The expression technology without borders is one I'm sure we've all heard, but I've always laughed at it. I suppose we are all aware that China has a technological behemoth, Huawei, which was arbitrarily sanctioned by the US a few years ago, and despite Huawei's best efforts, several of its key businesses incurred massive losses and have yet to recover. In reality, the United States is not unique in using the technology stick to damage enterprises or technologies in other nations. The history of China's Beidou navigation system is just a series of forced development ordeals. China ultimately created the Beidou satellite navigation system after facing technological blockades, slipping into traps, and so on. Hello and welcome to my channel. Let us continue our discussion. When it comes to navigation systems, people frequently mention the GPS Global Positioning System, which was developed by the United States in the 1970s and took more than 20 years and tens of billions of dollars to complete. Finally, in 1994, all 24 satellites were successfully launched into space orbit, establishing a new generation of GPS in the United States that covers almost the entire planet. Simultaneously, GPS not only opened up the civilian sector, but also introduced a worldwide free system, paving the door for China and even Europe to construct their own satellite navigation systems, ushering in an era of fast GPS growth and virtually monopolization of the global market. The United States military used this technique in the 1991 Gulf War and even performed a miracle on the battlefield. The United States military used GPS signals to navigate, and 2 missiles hit the same target one after the other. Many countries throughout the globe were startled that war could be conducted in this manner, and many countries afterwards placed GPS systems on their weapon systems, including China, which installed civilian GPS on its weaponry while military GPS was solely available to the US military. However, China was concerned that continuous reliance on US GPS would result in unsustainable expenditures. However, there is no such thing as a free lunch in the world, and the United States would soon put its inherent supremacy to bear on the situation in the Taiwan Strait in 1996. As a warning, the Chinese military conducted military exercises and fired missiles into the waters of the East China Sea near Taiwan. However, only the first missile hit its target, while the second and third missed their targets and could not even be tracked in time, causing both missiles to stray from their target areas. More crucially, the U.S. Navy dispatched a carrier battle group in this delicate scenario in the Taiwan Strait. In this case, the U.S. Navy dispatched a carrier battle group to assist China. Faced with this predicament, the United States Navy was unable to properly and reliably follow the U.S. carriers, thus failing to create a credible deterrence. Therefore, China opted to build its own satellite navigation system, regardless of the cost. The satellite navigation system's 3-step method, notably Beta 1, Beta 2, and Beta 3. 2 geostationary satellites were launched in 2000, and the system was completed and put into operation. A 3rd geostationary satellite was launched in 2003 to further enhance the system's capabilities. And, since then, the Beta 1 satellite navigation system has been successfully established, and the first step of the strategy has been accomplished. The collaboration was based on their requirements at the time. The EU saw China as a big market, while China did not want the US GPS to dominate, but the EU barred China from contributing or sharing the fundamental technology, which disappointed China and caused it to withdraw from the Galileo system. China was so dissatisfied with Galileo that it decided to develop the Beta system independently. According to Yang Chongfeng, Baidu's chief engineer, China engaged in Galileo to carry the atomic clock, which is at the heart of Baidu's navigation system, but Europe refused to deliver it, so China had to rely on itself. China spent more than 2 years building China's atomic clock in space, which is accurate to 3 million years per second, exceeding its competitors' 100,000 years per second. Then, from 2010 to 2012, China demonstrated to the world just how rapidly it could move. China launched 14 satellites into orbit with 12 rockets in 3 years, and all 16 satellites of Beidou 2 have since entered orbit, officially announcing the completion of the Beidou satellite navigation system, implying that China has completed the second step of the Baidu satellite navigation system. China will finish the Baidu 3 satellite system's networking and fundamental construction with the completion of 19 satellites on June 23, 2020, when the 30th satellite is safely launched into orbit. More than 80,000 personnel and 300 research groups have investigated China's satellite navigation system's path to independence. Only the Chinese realize how terrible it is. More than 100 nations have signed cooperation agreements with China for the Baidu navigation system, and more will do so in the future. Satellite capabilities, as well as the United States' wasted opportunity to control Baidu, have made it hard to battle Baidu by unfair methods. Well, that's it for today. Your likes and comments inspire us to create more videos in the future. Please leave your comments below and share your intelligent views with others. We'd love it if you subscribed to our channel and gave us a thumbs up. Farewell.